Hello and welcome to the monthly interview program that features outstanding members of the mineral community, including collectors, dealers, artists, photographers, and more. We aim to shine a light on the lesser-known mineral people that certainly deserve to be shown. This program is presented by the Young Mineral Collectors. I'm your host, Matthew Parshchikov from Cologne, Germany, and this is Under the Radar. Hello everyone, welcome back to the show. Today we have another young mineral collector who is originally from Pakistan but moved to France. He's a Strahler and collects minerals in the Alps, and he's also a great mineral photographer. Please welcome my friend Nauroz Nausherwani. Hey Nauroz, how are you today?
Hey, it's very good to see you. I am very good. It's a beautiful day here in French Alps, and it's Friday, so we are finally in the weekends.
Happy to
And
have you on the show. Thank you for coming.
Same here, and it's a pleasure to see you finally. We have been seeing your awesome photography, your pictures, and your contributions to the YMC and all these talks. So it's really pleasure to see you finally.
Thank you very much. And we have a special guest today, so yeah, you're very welcome here. Now, let's start where I always start. How did you first come into mineral collecting?
Alrighty, so that goes in my teenagers. So when I was 11 or 12 years old. So my elder brother Faisal uh, brought some crystals from the Zerd mountains of Haran. So this is my hometown. I was born in Haran, and he brought some pieces, so a mixture of brochites and quartz. I didn't know, to be honest, at that time, what is this fragile mineral, and if I touch it, what happens? All that curiosity. And he is the one that introduced me to the minerals. And when I saw these minerals and these crystals, like I was like, are you the one who have trimmed them and cut them and get them into this shape? Then he told me, no, it's natural. And this is where like the curiosity kicked in, and I started to like to be super curious about them, and then also to know more about them and go to the field myself and getting my hands dirty to find crystals.
Great, I love that. And did he give you like a specimen? Did you do you still own that specimen?
Um, Not those ones. Those ones that he showed me are not with me anymore. But I remember from that time I have few brochites and few quartz that I still keep with myself because it's the memories of my teenage, and these crystals are very precious to me. So I am still keeping them, and they are back home because half of my collection is here in France, and half of my collection is still in Balochistan, Pakistan, where I live.
Mm-hmm. And you live where in France?
I am living close to Chamonix, Mont Blanc, so really at the heart of the French Alps.
Nice.
Uh, it's a very well known region for awesome gwindals and pink fluorides and nice smoky quartz. So I'm at the right place.
Yes, exactly. Do you have a focus of your collection?
The focus of my collection, this is a pretty this question looks very easy, but to answer is very difficult. If I can compile my thoughts into words, I would say my focus is generally on aesthetics. So no matter what size, regardless of size, I go for aesthetics. And in general, and also one is aesthetic parts, and then there is also another part that is inclusions inside it. Sometimes inclusions can be beautiful, super beautiful. Sometimes they can be ugly, but even I like the ugly ones because I love inclusions. And floaters, I must say floaters. I love floaters. When a piece is floater, I don't I don't know about you. Like do you like floaters? I love floaters.
I like matrix pieces, but I get why you like floaters. Because
Yeah.
in the mountains, and you open the pocket and there's like
Yes.
a lot of
They are
those.
awesome. and they are already there for you just to get them out.
Exactly.
And then, like, if I see, like, if I like think about the pieces in my collection, and I have a big part of my collection is more alpine type minerals from Balochistan, Pakistan, and here around Europe. So I would say also alpine type minerals. It's not that I prefer alpine type minerals more. Of course I do, but I guess it's more naturally comes to the environment to which I was exposed. Even back home, I was living in the region Haran, which is known for its alpine type minerals, and then coming to France, uh, like exposed to the alpine type minerals. So I am also naturally or environmentally inclined to as well the alpine type minerals.
Okay. And how do you select the specimen for your collection? Do you have any criteria?
Um, so the criterias are uh, how aesthetic it is. Even if it's a thumbnail piece, the piece is well exposed, very well formed. You can see it shiny. Like the geometry is good. Even sometimes if the geometry is out of the norm, or if the color is out of the norm, this is also something that makes it rarer and more interesting for the collectors. And same for me. And the color, and also location, like from where it is coming.
Depending on so how location, like locality. If it's from France, you prefer it, or just the rarity of the
Like,
locality.
yeah, like for example, I'll give you an example. This is a very good question to open another topic. So I went for the crystal hunting in an area here in France, which is called Mer de Glace. So in English, it translates with a sea of ice. So it's a huge glacier. And around this glacier, you have the mountains well exposed, where you can find for the crystals. And I was there with my friend Geoffrey, very good crystal hunter. And there I found my first brochite and anatas from Mont Blanc. I was like, oh, this is super cool. And the size of these brochites is like 3 millimeters, and the size of anatas is also like 3 millimeters and 4 millimeters. Like for me, finding them here is very joyous, very, I'm super happy, you know. And because here it's more rare, and back home, if I find a similar piece like that, I would probably leave it there, because for home, they are not rare as compared to here.
Uh-huh.
And
Hmm.
and and you want something, something out of the norm, something extremely beautiful, something uh, aesthetic. And
Yes,
that's why, like, to me, like, the locality also matters. Locality also matters.
of course. No, yeah. So, oh, you mentioned that you go crystal hunting. So tell us a bit more how you started going to the Alps or generally in the mountains and looking for crystals.
It all started from the teenage, when I was introduced to the minerals, and I was told, okay, like, these are natural. Uh, no one is carving them. And then I say, okay, I really want to see how they are formed in the, like, how they are preserved in the mountains and in the pockets. And since my teenage, whenever I would get chance out of my studies, I would go to our family mines in Balochistan, and I would hunt for the crystals. And same here in the French Alps, like whenever I have occasion, whenever the weather allows, I'm out. I'm out in the field. Either I'm hiking or crystal hunting. It depends on the time of the year.
Okay. So how do you prepare for a field trip?
This is it's a pretty interesting question. So I will uh, break the answer to this question in two different parts, because I'm collecting in two different parts of the world. So we can start from France. So, like, collecting here in the Mont Blanc Massif. So Mont Blanc is the highest mountain of Europe, and then there are this chain of mountains that goes around. So this is what they call uh, chain of Mont Blanc mountains, if I translate it to English. And there you are exposed to several different environments. So the environment is very different from back home, and this is why it requires different preparation. And I will go into that now. So here you are exposed to the glaciers, you are exposed to the rock falls, and most of the time you are crystal hunting above 2,500 meters. So like how the preparation begins is that first you plan, okay, where are you going and what kind of environment will you be exposed to. Like let's say, like for example, if you will be walking on the glaciers to go for the crystal hunting, so you need the alpine shoes, you need crampons, you need the winter clothes, you need summer clothes, because as long as the sun sets, the weather gets super hyper cold. So you need to take care of that as well. So your clothing, what you wear, your safety gears, your harness and ropes and that kind of things, and also your tent to sleep. And then most important is your food, because you want to go there as light as possible. Like I will tell you, last summer when I went for the crystal hunting, my backpack was 23 kilos. And this 23 kilos backpack, uh, walking on the technical parts until you go to the base camp where you can put your tent. So you are walking on the broken blocks, you are walking on the glaciers, and you are literally sometimes going, holding yourself on the rope. You are climbing the ladders which they've made on the mountains, and sometimes like these ladders would be like this, and
Oh,
then
okay.
the weight all on you is that it's pushing you back.
Hmm.
Uh, so it requires a lot of preparation. You need to also think about how would you charge your electronic devices. So solar panel, your sunscreen, the
Goggles.
sunglasses,
Yeah.
all of that, and your helmet, gloves, everything, and also your crystal hunting tools. So that is a lot of preparation when you go for crystal hunting here.
How long
And
do you collect there? So 5 days,
uh,
1 day, 2 days?
like one day it will take you to go until your base camp, and then one day coming back. So it's better. Like usually, I go for like 4 or 5 days if
Okay.
my work allows. Yeah. And then now moving to the second part of the answer is collecting in Haran Balochistan is pretty different. So the region is pretty dry. So there's no water. There's literally no water, like kilometers and kilometers. So you need someone who would be taking care of water, because without water, you cannot go further. And then, like back home, I can use a drill machine. So preparing for the drill machines, preparing the food, it's just like you don't need all of the no material which I mentioned, like the crampons and the harness and all that kind of things. The rope, I rarely use rope there back home. And then back home, I use mule to put all my heavy stuff.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, so these mules,
So it's
I will
rather
share.
flat. It's a
Sorry,
rather flat mountains. So not like
not
steep.
really, not
Yes.
really, not really. But there are no glaciers or something. So the mule goes till a very. It can take you to the base camp because here, like here in French Alps, one thing that is good is that you take chairlift that takes you
Mm.
to
Hmm.
very high up, and then you go down, you walk. Back home in Balochistan, there are no chairlifts. So these mules are actually mm, mm, pretty helpful to take your heavy stuff to your nearest base camp.
Okay,
And then you
nice.
camp there, and then you are crystal hunting around.
Okay, that sounds like
And
a lot of things.
yes, and then there's also one thing is that back home you can see dangerous snakes, very venomous snakes, scorpions. Like last time, like the first rock I went in February in Balochistan, and I was crystal hunting there. Like the first rock which I broke, the rock was on in my hand, and there was a scorpion on the top of it. It can happen here, but to be honest, I haven't seen any scorpion here while crystal hunting. So exposed to very different environment, and like back home, it rarely rains, so you don't need raincoat and you don't need tent. You need a good sleeping bag at night, and that's all. But you need to be very careful for the water, and there is no connectivity there. So if there is an accident, you're in trouble. And here, if you have an accident here in the French Alps, there is helicopter to save you. Back home, there's nothing. You have
Oh,
to be super careful. Yeah. So the context of the crystal hunting in the both lands are pretty different, hence requires different preparation.
okay. That's you're a strong person.
I try to maintain my physical health, also mental health, as much as possible. I'm really into the sports. Uh, I'm going to 5 times a week in gym. I'm running like 2 or 3 times. I'm hiking all weekend, and whenever like the weather allows, doing mountain biking. So, and then yeah, like to go for crystal hunting, especially here in this region, you need to be physically fit. You need to be physically fit. You need to be mentally fit.
Of course. Yeah. And what's the most challenging part of crystal hunting?
Most challenging part is finding good crystals.
Also, it's not like every time you go up there you find a pocket.
No way, no way, no way. Uh, okay, so the most challenging part for me here is still in this region around Mont Blanc is that traversing through the glacier when you have these big crevasses and you can hear the cold water roaring because these rivers are flowing sometimes under the glacier and they make these big crevasses and cracks.
Okay.
I am, for me, it's something mental. I'm still scared of that. I'm still scared of that. And one should be.
Yeah.
And now I'm going more and more doing climbing on the glacier with my friend Geoffrey. So now that fear is slowly vanishing.
So you always
But
you don't go alone.
no, here, okay, to the simple places I go alone, but to the technical places I go with my best friend Geoffrey Klein. He's a very good alpinist.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, because for me it is still too early to go alone in this environment.
hmm Can you show us some or tell us about your top finds from the Alps or from Pakistan?
Alrighty, so like my good mineral specimens are still, I have given them loan in the museum, but I can show you like few pieces
What museum?
that are in my collection, and unfortunately, none of them that I will be showing you are my finds, but they are in my collection, and both from the French, from the Swiss Alps, and also from back home in Haran, Balochistan.
Yeah, you
So
mentioned
I
a
will.
museum. What museum?
It's called the Musée du Cristaux in Chamonix. It's like second, and soon it will be first biggest museum of France.
Nice.
It's crystal museum in France. Yeah,
Fantastic. This is
yeah.
great. So
So,
yeah, let's show us some of your favorite pieces that you have here.
all right. So to show you the pieces, I will take the phone outside because the natural daylight is the best. to show you the crystal.
Of course.
So let's start from the from from this little fade in and also a bit twisted Gwendol. This is from French Alps. And here
Nice.
now, if I choose the lighting, change the lighting, super lustrous. This was found by my friend Geoffrey.
Lovely piece.
Yeah, and then uh, this one is a Swiss brochite.
A Swiss brochite. Wow.
Yeah, pretty
That's
interesting
big.
brochite from
That's a big
yeah
crystal.
from Switzerland. Actually, I cannot take out from the base because it's glued there. This is how I brought it.
Ah, okay.
I still haven't prepared, so it's pretty nice, and the geometry is pretty interesting,
Very cool.
and also have this niobium inclusion. And then let's continue with brochites. This is my favorite brochite in the collection. So maybe I'll put it here. Maybe here better. I don't know. Can it
More
focus?
a bit further. I think it focuses on the house, but we can see the
Yeah,
transparency.
yeah.
Super
Maybe
sharp.
here.
Super sharp
Yeah,
crystal.
super sharp crystal, and this black is the inclusion of niobium. This is niobium inclusion. Pretty interesting.
Fabulous thumbnail.
Very cute piece. And then I have also good amount of epidot collection because the Roscoe Mountain is producing 15 different types of epidots. So here's one. I
Amazing
don't know if the
cluster.
lighting is better here on this side.
And that's super lustrous.
This is a complete floater.
Ah, okay.
And there is some basalite inclusion and titanite below.
Ooh, lovely. That's a gorgeous
Yeah.
piece.
Uh, so you see, like in my collection, inclusions, aesthetics, and this is another quartz with epidot inclusion and with also with basalite.
Oh, wonderful.
It's a double terminated crystal. This is super cool. Like the cluster of epidot. I don't know if it's focusing. Is super interesting.
Really cool
And the luster
inclusions.
of the quartz. Yeah. And the size
Yeah,
is just
that's great.
wow. Alrighty. So we'll continue. And this is the epidot that is coming. These are mostly called like Faden epidots from northern Pakistan.
Called, so they are not, or are they just fadened quartzes?
They are because you can see this Faden thread,
Mm-hmm.
super lustrous,
Very
double
lustrous.
terminated.
Wonderful piece.
And the funny part is that it's completely double terminated.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and if I can show you like the color, I don't know if my camera will
Yeah, I
catch
see
it.
this like a slight color change also, and very
Yeah,
gemmy, of course.
or Jamie. And then continuing, you see, like in my collection, there are crystals of every size, and I love this piece.
Mm.
It's also epidot. So several little double terminated epidot like leaves are forming on the top of the main crystals. And the funny part about these epidots is that they change color. Now it's looking like dark black green, and if I
Mm-hmm.
expose it to the sun, you will see it's
Oh,
more olive green. This is something very interesting about them. Just
very nice.
here, you see it's different, and if I move to the shadow, super
Great.
different.
Also, I
Yeah,
love these. I love these fans that are sticking on there.
yeah,
These.
and I will show you one of the crazy pieces. This one,
Oh my.
also a complete floater. the luster, the
Fantastic.
size, and the similar. I mean, if I move it now to the shadow, we'll see it's different.
And yeah, the luster comes out like,
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. It becomes less green, but the luster comes out.
Yeah, fantastic. I love that.
Alrighty, then the last piece that I can show is this one.
Another episode.
Yeah, I just love them. And now we are talking about with a French magazine to write an article about the epidotes from Balochistan because I think they are pretty interesting. We have like 15 different geometries of epidote from the Rasco Mountains.
Ooh.
And the funny part about that is that once you found one particular type in one pocket, then then you don't find the similar type for longer.
Oh, okay. So it's from pocket to
Yeah.
pocket. Like one pocket is one type, and the other
Yes.
pocket is another type. So every pocket is different. Nice.
Yeah, every pocket is a bit different. Yeah. So this is what also like make it interesting. Okay, like to keep few from every pocket. I have many different places pieces in my collection. Uh, I can like all of them because I moved to the new place and I don't have a shelf. But I promise you, one day when I have my shelf in the apartment, we are gonna have one more quick interview again, and I'm gonna show you all my collection. I have the minerals from Namibia. I have the minerals from Poland. I have minerals some from Switzerland, France, also Morocco, also States. So I have like the minerals from almost not all over the world, but my collection is pretty diverse.
Missing some Soviet minerals.
I would be glad to have one. Oh, I have a, uh, I have a fluoride from Delmargosk.
Daligorsk, yeah, okay.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
and uh, and
that's
the
great.
next one that I want is Ukrainian
Heliodot.
Heliodor.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
These are great. I can hook you up if you need it.
sure,
So
please do.
we've seen some behind you and next to you there's some cool photography that I see. So tell us about your photography and your
Oh,
frames also, the wooden frames.
alrighty. So the photography interest was since very long that I wanted to really to excel in the photography, but never got an occasion, to just to dedicate fully, like lock myself in a room and just play with lighting and camera setting and go to uh, uh, literature, read books about photography in general, and yeah, and this I excelled more during the COVID period. And during COVID, we were forced to stay inside, and I had nothing to do. And this is also, if you see the positive side, it's a good opportunity to polish your skills or do something that you really want to do and that you can do internally. So I started to play around with my camera, started to play around with lighting, and also came to know about all these toolings for the photography. So it was built quite recently, but I wanted to do it since very long. And now I am taking mineral, like professional mineral photos for my friends, for my collection. And also I am being part of the mineralogical club of Chamonix. I'm also a volunteer photographer for the museum in Chamonix,
Fantastic.
and I I've got an opportunity where I could touch the pieces which are like the French heritage. I can remember two of such pieces. One is this uh, a green octahedral fluorite on quartz from the Mont Blanc, and it's perfect.
Yeah,
Looks like Chinese.
nice.
but it's not Chinese, it's French, and it's really like their heritage because it's one super awesome piece. And then there is this another piece, which is this red pink fluorite. I mean, this red fluorite, but they call it pink fluorite of this size that I will share maybe with you one of my photos and in the museum
That's
holding
great.
it like that. And that piece in itself is like a French heritage. So yeah, so now I am doing photography for the Musée du Cristaux. So in English, the translation is Crystals Museum in Chamonix. What I would really suggest is if anyone who is watching this interview comes around this region and they are into minerals, I would highly recommend going to this museum. Yeah, and then what I say, okay, now I have some nice photos, but I need to frame them. I need to put them around me because I love them. I love minerals in general, and then just like you, I love photography. And then I was thinking about an idea. Okay, like what I can do a bit different. Okay, like I can print them, but so these frames must also have a bit of ambience and like the ambience to show mountains and crystal hunters. So I will show you two of my favorite photos that I have printed, and then I have put them in the frame. So let's start from this one. So this is huge. I mean, if you see my hand, it's huge. So this is a Gwindal found in French Alps, and the piece belongs to the Musée du Cristaux in Chamonix. And if you see, like the frame is a bit, you will see it's like there are some peaks. Yeah. So this is a crystal hunter going up to those mountains in order to find crystals.
This is so cool.
Yeah, and it's super awesome. And then I have this another one. This one. So this piece is in my collection. It's anecdotes. I call it tripod. Absolutely. It is very little, but super aesthetic piece. It's also now in the museum. Gorgeous. And here you see, so there are again these two crystal hunters. So these are these crystal hunters, and going up to the mountains. These are the mountains in order to hunt for the crystals.
This is so cool. Also great photos, of course, yes. And great
Thank you very
specimens.
much.
So I love that.
Yeah, I love, like I was thinking, about the idea where I can make it a bit different, a bit unique, like give it this touch where, and then there's also one more photo that I will shoot. It's very pretty close to my heart. Like this is a small frame, this one, right? And I was hunting for the crystals in Balochistan, and I dig out this brochite. And right after the pocket, I was waiting for the tea to be ready. And when I was seeing this brochite, it matched very well with the crystal behind. So the crystal matched very well with the mountain behind. And I took this photo and I said, and I just love this photo. It's so natural.
This is fantastic. I love that. The moment where you discovered
exactly.
that must have been huge.
Exactly. So yeah, like the photography journey will continue. I love photography. And this is also what today I was in the museum and I was talking to one of our club's members who is working in the museum, and his name is Parshchikov Epina. Super. When you visit museum, you'll probably see this guy, super passionate, and he speaks English. And we were discussing, okay, like which minerals to photograph next, which shelves to open next, and I will like revisit photographing them probably in October, because currently like the museum is open for much longer hours, and we don't have that window where like the museum is closed during the working hours, so I can be there with the staff, and we can open these shelves and get out the pieces for the photograph, because with those pieces, you cannot mess it up.
Yeah, of course.
And
They
you
deserve.
just need to have a complete concentration, complete focus.
Yeah.
Few
Yeah, I
people
know that
around.
feeling. Yeah, I was also
Yeah,
photographing
like,
for the museum in Bonn, but they actually, I was just there were people walking by, and I was just photographing in some corner, so they just invited me while the museum was open. But of course, the pieces probably
okay.
weren't as crazy as the one that you mentioned.
Yeah, like one of the pretty interesting thing was, which I was also a bit scared to handle the piece that was like something like 1 million plus euros.
Yeah.
And fortunately, like since I'm into the minerals from the teenage, I've been working with fragile minerals like brochite. So for me, ah, fluorite, it's not fragile. I can handle it. I don't have that scare.
Yeah,
But
it's
there
always best
are
not to know the value.
yes, yes. So yeah, in that museum, you really need the full concentration because to me, it's more. It's not about the more than the than the value of it in money. It's more for me like these natural artifacts that are super unique, that are
Hmm.
extremely old,
Yeah,
that has the history of our Mother Earth. It's very, very close to the passion, and I
of
just deal
course.
with it like with with super care.
Yeah, exactly. Just
Yeah.
the holding such a piece already is
Yes.
like this is why we're doing this. I love that.
Exactly.
So yeah, you'll be photographing in October for and just
Yes.
in general also for the museum. So yeah,
Yes.
uh we'll be very excited to seeing the photos.
Sure.
Is
I
there
will be
like a
sharing it also.
Yeah, is there like a website of the museum where they will be published?
Actually, there is a Facebook page
Oh,
of the
okay.
museum where they usually publish. Yeah.
Okay. It
And
will
then
be
you can find
I'll
it
link it in the
also
description.
on, yeah,
Okay.
on my Facebook profile. I'm also sharing that.
Or there, yeah. Okay. So we've covered the mineral parts that are personal to you. Now let's just widen the topics a bit about the whole community in general. How do you ensure the ethical and sustainable collection of minerals, respecting nature and the people's health and local regulations?
So this is a very nice question, and I think like all of that starts with educating people who are in the field, who are mining them. I can give you an example. While the brochites initially started to came out from Haran, Balochistan, they were mostly broken. They would destroy an amazing piece. Like if there's this size brochite in the pocket attached to the surface, they would just break the the brochite in itself, and then bring it to you. Okay, so it loses like the value of it. So this is where like the education comes in. So this is where like the training comes in. This is where you need to provide this mining equipment. You need to tell them about the safety while using these mining equipments, and it all comes with educating these people who are in the field. And for, fortunately, here in France, it's very different. Crystal hunting here is like the crystal hunters here just use artisanal tools. They are not allowed to use any mechanical tools.
Hmm.
Uh, so uh, no, any electrical tools or any heavy tools. They are just like with their chisel and
Yeah.
hammer and getting out the crystals. And in terms of the safety, here I see people more educated. They are wearing helmets, like they are wearing safety gloves. Like they are first analyzing, okay, if you are in the pocket, what's around the pocket, right? So if there is a rock that is very loose above, and and you're breaking the rocks around and it can fall
Oh yeah.
and all that. And this is what, like, when we were running like the mining operation back home, so we spent quite good amount of time to educate the workers back home. Yeah. So I think to me, it all comes with education and ethics. And then, of course, like there are some local laws that you need to be adhere to and respect. And also like the environmental aspect as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is very important to educate the
Yes.
people, so we can have better specimens, of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, then, like this is like a win-win situation for everyone.
Yeah.
Like the specimens are not damaged and they are extracting them, not putting their lives in danger. They are using the mining equipment safely. And all that comes with educating them and making them aware of the risk. Like this is something very important and also something close to my heart is like I went to this when I was in the Rasco Mountains. I went to the crystal hunting myself with the guys who were finding these crystals in these mountains. They are there for months and months. And when I went with them, so I'm seeing like the epidot pocket is filled with asbestos.
Hmm.
And going into this pocket and extracting them with asbestos flying everywhere is not good.
No, that's pretty
It's not good.
dangerous.
It's not good at all. Then also like stopping the operation there, bringing the masks, and then restarting, and also like the clothes, separate clothes, what you are wearing there, you should not wear them while eating or sleeping, because in these mountains you carry minimum. You carry minimum. You go very light. Yeah, so there are things like all comes like educating people, making them aware of the risks, and this is super important for our hobby in general.
This is great that you mentioned that, yeah. Um, I think well, while we were talking before the interview, you mentioned something about you having a nickname by your friends.
Oh yeah. So my friends from the crystals hunting, and they call me Brokite Man. Just because in every mineral show, and I have a lot of brokites from back home. So this is a bit of my nickname. Now it's a
Brokite
bit
man.
changing to the Epidot Man, but it's more Brokite Man.
Oh, this is why you're also in orange
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
yeah,
The
no,
Brokite
yeah.
man. Um, yeah, you mentioned so you are in France. You moved to France because for studying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us again where you're studying.
I came here to do my master's in ubiquitous computing from an engineering school.
Mm-hmm.
It's called Polytech Sofia Antipolis. Yeah, so Sofia Antipolis is like a small software park, or like a second largest software park of France.
Mm-hmm.
Is in Sofia Antipolis.
Okay.
So I was there. I studied there. I did my internships there, and now I'm working in IT.
Nice. Okay. So you're close to the field of technology, to modern technology. So
Yeah.
what do you think? What um, purpose? What role does modern technology play in mineral collecting and identification?
Well, as just as like every other field, I think like for us, for the mineral, especially for the information sharing and for the information storage and analysis, we can take an example of Mindat.org, right? It's like an encyclopedia for us,
Yeah.
right? I remember like during my early time, even still now, I'm using it, and it's thanks to that to the uh, technology which we have around. And you still have these awesome maps of the mines where you can hunt crystals. You have a forum where you can ask questions, where there are experts from the mineralogy domain who are there to help you. You have a lot of data, you have a lot of research articles there. So I think technology is pretty vital in the mineral collecting and hunting. And then there's also another aspect is preserving minerals. Like there are labs that would use technology to preserve your crystals, to repair the crystals in a way that it looks like completely natural to how it was while the crystal was broken because of an earthquake, or the pocket has fallen completely. So this is also something that is adding a lot in order to what was created by nature was broken by nature, and then thanks to the technology we are preserving it again.
Exactly,
It's
yeah.
pretty interesting. Yeah,
So the good example is the Smoky Hawk mine, where the Amazonite and smoky
exactly,
crystals, yeah, they're constantly broken and they have to be put back together.
exactly.
Yeah. So this would help
A-
definitely. Yeah.
and also these uh, Brazilian tourmalines, where you see
Yeah.
these crystals popping out like this. Most
Exactly.
of
Yeah.
them has like more than 50 or 100 repairs, and uh,
And restorations.
and and restorations. Yeah, and it's so. I mean, like okay, it was made by nature, then destroyed by nature, and then preserved again by the mankind thanks to the technology. It's pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, this is really cool. Okay, so we're coming to a close, but I think you have some maybe another story to tell. Like, what's the funniest or most unexpected reaction of someone of you've showing someone your collection?
So it was in Nice when I was living in Nice. So I had a shelf, I had a mineral shelf, and one of my friend came. He was exposed to the minerals a bit. He heard that that these crystals contain energy and has vibration and all that. Like I am nothing against that, but I myself personally, I have different thoughts. I'm more scientific person. And when he came to see the crystals, and he said, Nauroz, can I hold this brochite specimen? I gave him like the brochite specimen. Now the crystal that is in the museum, be careful, you should not break it. Just be careful. And when he was holding, he said, yeah, this has a lot of energy. Yeah, to me that was pretty interesting, like to me, it has different energy. To me, I love it. It's a natural artifact. When I see it, pleases me. And so this is a bit of the oh, maybe we can cut this part of the interview. I have another nice, very funny story for you to tell.
Sure, go on.
Okay, all right. So you see this specimen behind.
Yeah,
So what happened is that it has a pretty funny story, like how it came out. So I received a lot of anatas from our mines, and then there is this one piece of like 20 centimeter completely covered by the calcite, completely covered, like nothing is visible. Okay, only few quartz points are visible. Okay, there is something below, but we don't know what it is.
yeah.
So I put it in a very strong HCl, and I put it for the whole night. And when I came back, so this one piece was broken into, I don't know, like a lot of pieces. And I just put my hand in the acid wearing gloves. And when I came out, like the first one, so there was like few broken pieces and trash, and then there was like this one piece came out. And it was like, this piece is like one of my favorite pieces in my collection, for all the anecdotes which I've seen, and I've seen thousands of them. And it's this one. So
This is
this
great.
for me was very interesting, and pretty funny to have your favorite specimen uh, uh, from a piece that you would thought, okay, it's just
Yeah, yeah,
trash. Just put it in the strongest acid, and we'll see what happens. So this
yeah.
for me is pretty
That's great.
interesting, and it was like a gift for me, like from the nature, from nothing.
Nice. And of course, you're representing a passion of photography in a mineral as the
Yes,
tripod. This is great, yeah.
yes, exactly.
As a last closing question, you are part of, how old are you?
I am 32 years old.
Yeah, so you're part of YMC. What have YMC brought to you as a collector or photographer?
The YMC have brought to me the energy, all of these young guys have a lot of energy. They are sharing their passion. They are in the field and they are asking questions. So I would say this energy that we get from the YMC friends, and while we are at the shows, a lot of YMC friends are coming and they are showing what they have purchased and what is will be in their collection, and we share drinks there and we share our passion. So it's thanks to the YMC that it provides like a platform where you can just uh, go in and you can make friends because we share the same passion.
Yeah, yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Great answer. Can where can people find you in general and at shows or in the internet?
So to find me physically, I'm doing one Saint Mary Mineral Show. I'm doing Chamonix Mineral Show, which is coming in August. So I'm doing just these two shows. Uh, as minerals, like earning from minerals is not my primary business. I'm just like representing my family's company in these shows. And then the other thing where you can find me is on Facebook, on Instagram. And if you ever visit French Alps, you will find me here as well. So feel free to reach me out. I would love to go or to show you people around, to make you visit of the awesome museum we have here, to go for the crystal hunting and an easier place that we have. Yeah. So you guys can reach me out via social media at the shows and if you visit the region.
Great, wonderful. Yeah, I'll definitely visit someday for sure.
I would love to show you around.
Thank you.
Please do. Please come. But come in summer.
We'll see. Yeah, probably. So thank you very much for this very informative interview. It was very fun. It was great. I loved it. Thank you for coming on
Same
the
for
show.
me. Thanks for having me and keep doing all the awesome work.
You too. All right.
Alrighty. Thank you very much. Okay. Goodbye.
Thank you for watching this episode of Under the Radar. You can check out today's guest through the links in the description below. Tune in next month for another episode and don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss any new uploads. Take care and we'll see you next time.